Hi, I'm Kelly Tucker, founder and managing director of HR Star, and I'm here to take on the SoGloss 10 question challenge. HR Star is a HR consultancy on a mission to change HR's lame reputation. We are a consultancy providing outsourced HR solutions for forward-thinking business leaders who want to take a people-focused approach to running their business. Okay, question number one. You spent many years as a HR manager before starting HR Star. Has running your own business changed your perspective on human resources? Yes, definitely. One of the main reasons that I started HR Star was to do HR differently from when I'd done it as an in-house HR provider. But being a business owner has really helped me see things from the business leader's point of view, and also the impact that having the right people and having an engaged team actually has on business. So I think I am fortunate now that I have two perspectives: my HR, qualified HR manager perspective, but also as a business owner. So I think that's why I do get on so well with working with business leaders, because I have the same challenges, I suppose, as they do in many ways. Okay, question two. What are the main HR challenges impacting your clients in a post-pandemic world? Recruitment and retention, 100%, is something we're doing and working with across the board of our clients right now. So we have seen so many businesses bounce back and excel in a post-pandemic world. So people are so important right now. So our clients are working really hard to retain their top talent, to make sure that those good people stick, but also to do everything they can to attract really good talent into their business as well, to obviously help with that growth. Number three, many businesses still don't trust their employees to work from home. What would you say to change their mind? For me, that comes down to trust and communication. I think everybody should trust their employees, and if you don't, you need to address why. And communication is really important. I think you need to have a culture of open and honest communication, and that can be led by your values. So your culture is determined by your values and your behaviours. So set the expectation, have open and honest communication, and you shouldn't have any troubles with your employees regardless of where they work. Number four, diversity, equality and inclusion in the workplace remains a hot topic. What should employees be doing to create an inclusive workplace? Again, I think that comes from your culture, and that's very much derived from your values, but also I think it's really important to keep a pulse on your organisation and the people within it and how they're feeling. I think you need to look at all of your people processes, so from your recruitment processes, who and where are you recruiting from, and then how you're sort of managing your team in the workplace. But the best way, I think, like I say, is by asking your team, asking how they feel, asking where there may be gaps or where you're not addressing certain groups, etc. So again, it all comes down to communication. Question number five, what's the secret to successful employee engagement and retaining talent? Employee engagement is the feeling your people feel towards their work and their place of work. So to ensure that you have an engaged team, you need to ensure that your people understand the role that they play, where they sit within that bigger picture. They also need to feel heard, so they need a voice. They need to be rewarded and recognised for the value that they add. And they need to ensure that they've got opportunity for progression and development. So again, it's about a two-sided relationship. So setting expectation, delivering on expectation, and sort of remaining open and keeping open and honest communication. Number six, what advice would you give to a business considering employing a HR team member versus outsourcing this business function? So there's definitely pros and cons for both. I think if you're a small scaling business, then you get a bit more flexibility by outsourcing your HR function. You may not feel that you need a dedicated in-house HR person. Also, with outsourcing, you get to hire, in effect, a whole HR team without having to carry that expense. So it's definitely something you'd get by working with HR Star. So we have all roles covered, from strategic, operational, down to administration and even talent sourcing. I think you have a different focus as an outsourced HR provider than you would internally. So I don't report to anyone within the business, so I can be really objective and have a different relationship with the business owners and with the people within the business as well. 7, what trends do you think we'll see emerging in the HR sector over the coming months? I think we'll continue to see hybrid working being a topic of conversation, and as people emerge from post-pandemic world and look to potentially return to the office in some form. I think something else that we'll see a lot of is the 4-day working week or a version of that. I know that there are a number of businesses trialling that, and those that have are seeing positive results around productivity, well-being, etc. So I think we will see more flexibility in the way that we work as something that will continue to develop over time. Number 8, what do you love most about doing business in Gloucestershire? I love it because of how many local businesses that I get to work with, but also get to know. So when I worked in-house as a HR manager for various companies, you get to know those teams really well. But by being a HR consultant, I get to know so many more businesses, so many more people, but also it's the impact that I'm able to have. So because I focus on employee engagement and enhancing the employee experience, it's amazing to know that I am making a difference in my local community. Some of the local businesses that we work with at HR Star include Kate & Tom's, Ectors, the Norville Group and Dunkerton's Organic Cider. Number 9, what advice would you give your teenage self? Start sooner, I think, not obviously as a teenager, but I worked in HR for 15 years before I took the plunge and set up HR Star, and I love everything that I do in terms of HR, and I love running my own business, and I think if I had my time over again, I just would have started sooner. Name your 3 favourite places in the county. Okay, so number 1 would be Montpellier Gardens in Cheltenham. I love the festivals that they hold there, so the Jazz Festival, the Food and Drink Festival. Another place would be 131. I love going there for food and drink, being able to watch the world go by up and down the prom. And then my 3rd favourite place would probably be Stroud. So I live in Stroud, just on the outskirts, and there's just some amazing walks there along the canals and the Cotswold Way, so that's another favourite of mine.